I have been running my clothing brand for a couple of years now, and I have learned a thing or two that I feel like you're gonna find useful when it comes to starting, growing, and building your clothing brand. So in this video, I am going to be sharing with you 13 hacks to starting your very own clothing brand. And even if you're not starting a clothing brand, there are definitely gonna be a few pointers in here that you could use for any sort of product-based business. So number one, if you are somebody that just wants to start a clothing brand but you have no money, definitely consider using the print-on-demand route for your business. Now, I have used Printify for print-on-demand products, and I feel like they have a range of really good blanks brand that they work with in order to print your designs on. So I would definitely consider using Printify. I'll have them linked in the description. But the great thing about print on demand is that you don't part with any money until somebody makes a purchase on your website, and essentially all you then receive are the profits that you make from selling that particular garment, which is why print on demand is definitely something that a lot of people want to get into but don't quite know the websites to use, which is why I'm here to suggest Printify. But obviously you always have to do your own due diligence and test out Printify for yourself and see whether it works for you. But let's jump on to hack number 2. If you are somebody maybe similar to me that, you know, is a little bit more like business orientated as opposed to creative, definitely consider using AI to help you come up with the designs for your clothing brand. Now, I always suggest New Arc AI as a sort of website to use in order to develop ideas. And when you use a program like New Arc AI, you don't even need to know how to draw. You just kind of sort of have to have a somewhat idea of what it is that you want to develop, and the AI, the artificial intelligence, will definitely help you build up that idea a lot further. Definitely consider using artificial intelligence to come up with some of your designs, and definitely consider using New Arc AI to help come up with some designs, because that's the program that I have used, and I will have New Arc AI linked in the description. Now, hack number 3. You've decided that you want to design a t-shirt for your clothing brand, and you've gone into Uniqlo and you've seen this t-shirt that you love and you love the fabric. When you find a manufacturer that's a full package production manufacturer, which means that they are going to be providing you the fabric and basically going through the whole process with you, what you can do is literally send them a swatch of that Uniqlo fabric and basically ask them to find the exact same fabric to then produce that t-shirt for your clothing brand. There's nothing wrong with that. I know people that do it. In fact, I may not have necessarily done that, but I've definitely gone out like fabric shopping and found fabric that I like, bought like a couple of meters of it, and basically sent that to a manufacturer and said, boom, make it like that. That is definitely something you can do. And hack number 4 actually ties into that. If you buy a garment, maybe like a hoodie, and you like the fit of it and you think it's perfect, again, you can send that to your manufacturer and basically be like, make it like this. I am starting a clothing blanks brand, and I have already developed what I think is the perfect cut for a t-shirt. So all I've basically done for my clothing blanks brand is taken the t-shirts that I developed and I've said, replicate this. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that, and manufacturers don't find this weird or anything. They definitely accept it, and it probably makes their life a whole lot easier. Hack number 5. When you're sending your manufacturer colors for the garment that you want created, definitely use Pantone colors as a reference in order to make sure that they are matching your colors accurately, and as accurately as they possibly can. Hack 6. Now, this is one that I have never shared with anyone outside of my starter kit, and that is you can purchase patterns for your garments on Etsy. But what you do need to do is make sure you're reading the description, because some pattern sellers have a little clause in there where it's like, not for commercial use, which means technically you can't use it to then produce your own garments on a commercial basis. But some pattern makers don't have that clause, so you can. Or perhaps you can even like message some of these pattern makers and, you know, strike up a deal with them. But definitely purchasing patterns from Etsy is a lot cheaper than getting a pattern maker to make it for you from scratch. Feeding into that, actually, hack number 7. If you are a designer and you've got a particular cut that you want your garment to be. However, your end manufacturer is all the way in China or Bangladesh or wherever, and obviously communication between yourself and the manufacturer is usually over email or video call if you're fortunate enough to get somebody that actually communicates well in the language that you speak. A lot of the time, conveying exactly what you want as a garment can be difficult, especially if you're making complicated and intricate designs. So a little hack that I have for you is consider working with a sample room where you live. So like in the UK, you could definitely find lots of different sample rooms, and basically what a sample room is going to do for you, they are going to produce the pattern for your garment and the first sample for your garment, like the first fully made sample for your garment. And the great thing about working with one where you live is that you can be there in the office making like those like adjustments, working pretty closely with the design team and ensuring that your garment is exactly how you want it to be. Once it is, you are then going to be able to send that off to a manufacturer and basically tell them, make the garment exactly like this. Tell me that is not a good hack. Tell me that is not a good hack. Now this next hack number 8, is a cheeky one, and that is grab my starter kit. My starter kit is going to have a step-by-step guide that's going to guide you through starting a clothing brand, especially for those that have no idea where to start. And it's also going to have like a list of manufacturers that you can contact and use, like loads of manufacturers. You get a one-on-one session with me complimentary, and also you get online chat support with me throughout the duration of you know, doing this starter kit and even beyond. Like, I don't mind, message me, it's cool. I am there to help, especially if you're somebody that is part of the starter kit community. I am literally gonna be there to help you out along the way. So that is a shameless plug of mine, but that is definitely a hack. Hack number 9, believe it or not, sometimes sourcing your own fabric can be a lot cheaper than relying on a manufacturer to source the fabric for you. And the reason why is that the manufacturers are probably going to be working with like fabric mills that they have relationships with, and they might even add their own little like 2 pence on top of that fabric to make sure that they are making money. So if you have the capacity and the ability to go out looking for fabric, definitely consider doing so, because you might actually find a fabric that is a lot cheaper than the fabric that the manufacturer is suggesting for you to use. Hack number 10. Now, instead of working with website developers, which obviously I know is going to save you a lot of time, but it's going to cost you a lot of money, consider creating your website yourself using the platform Shopify. I'm not even going to suggest any other platform but Shopify, because in all honesty, it's the best for e-commerce businesses, for clothing brands, and there are free templates that you can use on there that look professional and they are user friendly. So I always suggest that people use Shopify to design their websites. If you dedicate about 2 to 3 weeks of your time, and I'm not saying like all day every day, I'm saying 2 or 3 hours after work, dedicate a bit of time to building your website on Shopify, trust me, you will get somewhere and you will build something and you will be so proud of yourself knowing that you created that yourself. So I'm gonna have Shopify linked in the description as well for you guys. Everything is gonna be linked that I talk about that I can link. Hack number 11, and this is one that I try and drill into absolutely everyone, and that's starting with a low quantity of garments. Don't go out there and straight off the back order 100 dresses. Like, it's just it's too much of a risk. Try and start out with 20, 30 dresses, see how it goes. At least then it's less likely that you're gonna end up with dead stock that you cannot sell, because there is nothing worse and more heartbreaking than having dead stock that you cannot sell. Hack number 12, and this is something I've definitely spoke about on my channel before, and that is hosting a pop-up shop or putting yourself out there and being part of a pop-up shopping event. There's so many events that happen in London, and I'm sure there's probably a lot of events that happen where you are in America, where you can like go there, set up your little store and start selling your garments. You can use websites like Appear Here, Storefront, Pop-Up something to find empty storefronts that you can actually set up and pop up in, and you know, put your garments everywhere and make it nice and have your own little shop. Or you can go on platforms such as Eventbrite to find events for fashion that you can be a part of and start selling your garments. The great thing about pop-ups is that, trust me, you make the most sales at pop-ups. You get to talk to your customers get to feel, touch the quality of your garments, and you'll be able to almost like use your sales technique or whatever to secure those purchases. There's a sense of urgency when it comes to pop-ups, which is why they're so great for getting those first few sales and boosting your confidence when it comes to starting your clothing brand. My final hack is, if you're somebody that just wants to start a clothing brand, I mean, I did mention print on demand, this kind of ties into this, but try and start off with a basic range of products, t-shirts, hoodies, to just, you know, get a little taste. And the great thing about starting with basic products is that you can then just work with blank companies, like high quality blanks, and go from there. It doesn't compromise your quality, especially if you're working with a company that sells like really good blanks, like my blanks brand's gonna sell. You can start from there, start building your audience, and then expand into a bit more of like the complicated pieces. But yeah, those are my 13 hacks to starting a clothing brand. I really hope you have found it helpful and found a couple of hacks that you're gonna use and take moving forward. Please definitely like this video if you liked it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will catch you in my very next video. Goodbye.